I am Carlos, a 24-year-old university student living in Spain. My circumstances are quite difficult, and I'm not exaggerating. Since my parents passed away when I was young, I had to learn to navigate life largely on my own. My uncle took me in, but he also passed away when I was in high school, leaving me utterly alone in this world. To manage my situation, I sold the modest house my uncle left me and deposited the money in the bank to fund my studies. I used what I could to buy a car that I use for work. Driving has become my life. I work during the day, transporting passengers and sometimes making deliveries, all to scrape together enough money to survive. One night, after dropping off a family near the city, as they got out at a large cinema, I started my journey back to the capital. While filling up my tank, I discovered a woman's wallet in the back seat of my car. My mind raced. Could this wallet belong to one of the women from the family I had just given a ride to? I tried calling the number of the man from the family, but was shocked to find that the phone was turned off. You might wonder why I didn't just go back to return the wallet, but the truth is that they insisted on getting a taxi from the cinema. I even offered to take them further, but the man and his family had acted strangely throughout the trip, unwilling to engage in conversation. I thought to leave the wallet in my car and wait until I got back to the city to see if I could contact them later. They had my number after all. The man had written it down just in case they needed me. Feeling uneasy, I left the gas station. As I drove, I noticed a police car watching me intently. My heart sank. I knew my tint was illegal, and I could get a ticket. But to my relief, the police officer remained still, staring at my car. I accelerated, but almost immediately, I saw the police car behind me with its lights flashing. I wasn't speeding. I knew I was driving at the legal limit of 120 kilometers per hour. Yet, when I pulled over, Pip, the police officer, approached with an alarming demeanor. As I greeted him, he accused me of speeding. I insisted that I was driving within the limit, but he wasn't buying it. Pip claimed I was going 140 kilometers per hour. I felt my anxiety rise. This was not a conversation I wanted to be having. What was more baffling, however, was when Pip insisted he saw a woman in the back seat. I was taken aback. What woman? I thought. I was alone. As he pressed me for answers, I struggled to comprehend the situation. After a tense back and forth, Pip said he wanted to take me to his patrol car to show me the radar. Hesitating yet feeling compelled to comply, I followed him to the car. Once inside, I felt a strange mix of fear and an odd comfort. There was something surreal about being in a police vehicle, but Pip was relentless. Instead of discussing speeding, Pip focused on the woman he claimed to have seen. He wanted the truth, and my heart raced as I insisted again that I was alone. Pip then confided that he had lied about the speed to get me to stop, saying he was more concerned about the woman. When he demanded I stay in the car while he searched mine, I panicked. What was going on? He opened the trunk and checked every compartment, returning shortly with a worried expression. He seemed convinced there was more to the story. Eventually, he offered me his phone number, urging me to contact him if anything unusual happened. Relieved, I left the patrol car, but the knot in my stomach didn't ease. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Driving back to the capital, I called my friend Andres, a lawyer. I recounted my bizarre encounter. He listened skeptically and suggested I investigate the wallet further. Just then, I felt the urge to check for it again. To my shock, the wallet had vanished from my back seat. Panic surged through me as I shared this revelation with Andres, who advised me to keep calm. Arriving home, still rattled, I heard a strange noise from the bathroom. Every nerve in me heightened as I cautiously opened the door. My eyes widened in horror. There was Pip, sitting casually in my bathroom as if he had been waiting for me. "Carlos," he said, a twisted smile creeping across his face, "you've stumbled onto something far more dangerous than you know." Fury and fear collided within me. "What do you want from me?" I yelled, my voice trembling. "I only want to help you," he said calmly, pulling out his phone. "You're caught in something much bigger, a network far beyond your understanding. The wallet you found is not just some random object, it's a key to uncovering a hidden truth. If they realize you have it, they will come after you. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number flashed on the screen. "We know you found it. Hand it over, or you'll regret it." Pip's eyes narrowed. "They've already caught wind of you. You need to act fast. Come with me, we can move now." Without thinking, I nodded instinctively. This was the moment of truth. As I grabbed my keys and we rushed out the door, I felt adrenaline surging through me. We barely made it to my car when I saw dark silhouettes approaching us from across the street. They were moving quickly, aimed directly at me. Pip pushed me down, besides the car, just as the first shout rang out, "There he is." I did the first thing that came to mind. "Get in," I shouted as I jumped into the driver's seat. Pip wasted no time, diving into the passenger seat. "Drive. Don't look back." The engine roared to life, and I sped away from my apartment. Behind us, I could hear shouts and the unmistakable sound of footsteps echoing against the pavement. "Take the side streets," Pip directed, his voice firm and urgent. I swerved onto a narrow alley, heart pounding as I glanced in the mirror. Their dark figures had pursued us into the alley. "Almost there. Just a little farther," Pip urged. My heart raced faster than the engine. Finally, I spotted a familiar street, a busy plaza where I knew we could blend into the crowd. I sped toward it, glancing at Pip for confirmation. "Now. Pull in there," he shouted. I swung the car into the plaza, finding a spot just as the pursuit stumbled into the entrance behind us, disoriented by the crowded scene. I cut the engine and glanced at Pip. "Where do we go next?" "Stay low," he said, drawing his phone as he quickly messaged someone. "We'll wait for my contact. This isn't over, but we need a plan." As I crouched in my seat, watching the dark figures circle the plaza, a mix of fear and exhilaration flooded my thoughts. The night was far from over, and I knew I had just stepped into a world where danger lurked around every corner. But I also understood I wasn't alone anymore. I had Pip's help. And somehow, I felt ready to face whatever came next. The chase had transformed into a battle for survival, and, as it turned out, I was about to uncover secrets that could change my life forever. Just then, as we patiently waited in hiding, a commotion broke out at the edge of the plaza. A figure clad in dark clothing appeared, making a beeline right for us. My heart raced as Pip whispered, "This is my contact. Trust him." When the figure reached us, I was surprised to see it was an old friend of Pip's, an undercover operative named Elena. Her steady gaze instilled both confidence and urgency. "They're on to you," Elena said, her eyes darting to the shadows. "We need to move fast. The people after you are part of something much larger than you can imagine. Can't we just get out of here?" I asked, panic creeping into my voice. "No," Pip interjected. "We have to confront this head-on. They need to know we're not afraid." In that instant, a decision crystallized within me. I couldn't run anymore, it was time to stand my ground. "What's the plan?" I asked, my voice firm. Elena smiled faintly. "We use the confusion of this plaza to our advantage. We can set a trap and turn the tables on them." With newfound resolve, Pip and I exchanged glances. I realized then that I had allies. We might just have a fighting chance. As we moved stealthily through the crowd, I felt a surge of energy. Maybe tonight would be the night I not only survived but fought back against the shadows closing in. The chase was on again, but this time, it was not just about running away. I was part of something bigger now, ready to confront my fears and discover the truth that lay hidden behind the veil of darkness. The battle for my freedom, and my very life, had just begun. Then, in the midst of the chaos, I spotted one of the pursuers from earlier, a well-dressed man with an air of authority who seemed to be coordinating the search. My instincts kicked in. "That's him." I pointed to the man, adrenaline coursing through my veins. Pip nodded. "Let's move, now." In a coordinated rush, we navigated through the crowd, getting closer to the man. As he turned, I could see the cold calculation in his eyes. He had no idea what was coming. "Elena, now!" Pip shouted. In a flash, Elena emerged from the crowd, confronting the man. "You're not getting away this time. You underestimate us." Surprised, the man stumbled back. I seized the moment, lunging forward and grabbing the wallet I had stashed in my jacket. "This belongs to someone you've taken from," I yelled. The crowd froze, tension thick in.